Hi everybody, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to do my live stream now. This is my basement of my house. Hopefully everybody who is online right now can hear me clearly. I've done like hundreds of tests this week trying to make sure that it is working. So, hi Amanda and family. If family's with you, I know you said you're going to try to watch where you guys are together. To just show everybody what I am building, I'm going to build this. The Lego Disney Castle. So I'm going to be building that on this table, and we're going to be able to talk. And if you have any Disney questions, go ahead and send them my way. I really want to be able to answer questions, but I figured I'd love to be doing something while I'm doing it. So I have my, as you can see, Lego Disney Castle. I also have my Lego remover, because if you don't have one of these, you have missed out, because these things are great and they help pop the little pieces off. Not every set comes with one, so I always keep my one from any of the sets that do come with them. But anyway, we're going to continue on. I'm going to move back over here, and it's time to start. So, build time! Hope everybody's having a good time. You can see, I have it set up so you can see the build, and you can also see me while we build. Hey, Jen, thanks for joining. Glad to have you here. Nice to, by the way, that Magic in the Music, that channel that just came up in the chat, I highly recommend that you go to that channel. She knows everything there is to know about DVC and then some, and then her trip vlogs are great. And she knows exactly what she wants to do, and she's just really, really good at the entire Disney vlogger. And I highly recommend checking her out. She does a great job with all of her vlogs. Now, unboxing. As you saw, I had to actually open it. One thing about these new Disney boxes is that they come in part packs. So you have, there's bag one. I have bag one and bag three. Bag three comes with a lot of little bits. And bag two. Here's bag two. Awesome. And we have bag four. This one has all the gold bits. This is kind of cool. It's got all the gold bits in it in bag four. Now, if you're not a Lego builder, just understand something. You do not want to open these bags until you're ready to open the bags. Just trust me on this. Those bags will not do you any good if they are opened. If they're open earlier, because then you're going to be hunting through extra parts. Here's my instruction booklet. It's kind of thick, but it's a little on the smaller side. I'm going to be trying to build it right here where the bag is. But again, we're going to be building the Lego Disney Castle. All right, I'll hold it up front here. Maybe a pretty cool little thing. We're going to be building that. Looking forward to it looking like that when we're done. All right. Oh, we're wearing the same shirt today? Nice. I love it. I love it. Hey, Rebecca. How you doing? Nice to see you. Rebecca is my cast member friend, one of my cast member friends. Oh, no, Steve. Michelle won't be making an appearance. She flat out told me she's not doing that. But thanks for asking. She said that she's not doing the live stream. But she did bring me a nice fancy iced tea. But Rebecca is one of my cast member friends. She was actually a safari driver for the Animal Kingdom. But before that, she was a trumpet player in my band. So it's really nice that I know so many people that do these kinds of things. All right, so following my instructions. All right, it's telling me what I'm building. Box one. So box one builds the base. All right, you can see that. Box one builds the base. And then box two builds up off of the ground, gives you a little bit more color. Box 3 builds the towers. All right, box 3, I don't want to cover it up. Box 3 builds the towers. And box 4 finishes out the castle. But the first thing you have to do, of course, is build the main man himself, Mickey Mouse. So I'm going to open up bag 1 here and get started. So like I said, if you have any Disney questions you want to ask me, or if you want to impart, want some Disney trivia, I love that stuff too. But all right, bag 1 is opened. Stuff the bag back into the box here. But if you have any questions, feel free to do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to be kind of talking about my Disney favorites. First off, I'm going to talk here about Lego. I absolutely love Legos. Legos are great. They're cathartic for me. See, I found my Mickey Mouse. I'm putting them together now. And I find Legos to be kind of one of those things that when I need to just sit and do nothing, Legos are a good way to do that. So that's why I choose to do the Legos. And there's Mickey Mouse all together. All right. M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. All right. I'll stop playing around now. All right. Step 1, done. All right. I need one of these. But I have, you should see, if you, at some point in time, if I get a chance, I will pan. At some point in time, I get a chance, I will pan and I will show you the ridiculous setup that I have down here. It's rather amusing to me. I have everything kind of spread. I'm jammed against the wall, and I have everything kind of spread in a space so I can see everything. I have really strange things that aren't meant to be using for holding televisions, and all kinds of fun stuff. So, all right, continue. All right, we got our first piece. Now we need to. All right, we're moving into the next step. I love it when they're like, just take this piece. That's all you do with it. That makes me laugh. All right. Square piece. My instructions keep trying to shut. It's like piano music. You know, Jen would be able to understand this, and Rebecca too, actually. They the biggest pain in the rear end is when you've got like a piano book, and that piano book, if you don't break the spine, which, you know, hurts my book reading soul, if you don't break the spine, that piano book will literally just keep shutting the pages on you. Oh my God, does that drive me nuts? Yeah, I missed that ride too. Great Movie Ride poster. So I actually got this on Redbubble. So yeah, the Great Movie Ride poster. You would have made a great. Rebecca, you were so good at theater. You would have made a great Movie Ride cast member. You did fantastic on the Safari. I loved your Safari, and I'm not just saying that out of bias, even though I am a little biased. I loved your Safari. It's one of the best Safaris I ever went on. Not kidding. It was fun when we got to, like, we had to wait so long for your ride though, because I think like a rhinoceros blocked the path, and I think we ended up waiting for like an hour in the holding area, and yeah, it was pretty bad. But when we got to ride on her Safari, and it was one of the better Safaris I had ever been on. And I will say that I have actually recently had the same Safari driver twice, a number of months apart. And I'm not usually one to say this, but oh man, that was probably the most boring Safari ride I had ever been on. I mean, everything was delivered monotone, and oh my goodness, it was bad. It was just bad. Oh, by the way, if you ever get Lego, when you're Lego building, if you get in the bag, if you get a small bag of parts, set them to the side. Just trust me on that one. When you dump them out, you don't want to dump them out onto the table and then get them combined with everything else. But yeah, breaking the spine breaks your heart. Me too, Amanda. Me too. Sorry about the delay. Apparently, YouTube put a really long delay on my live stream today, so I apologize for that. I hope you guys are enjoying. I even set it up to have some background music, so I'm hoping you guys are enjoying that. That was kind of a fun thing for me to add in there. But I'm using, by the way, for my stream. For those of you who are interested, I'm using Streamlabs for Mac, and it's running on my MacBook. And I set up all these cool little like effects so I can do stuff like this. So if I wanted to show you what the build looks like so far, I just do that, and it switches over, and you can see the build camera. I have multiple camera angles going at once, but I figured this way I could actually talk to you. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Rebecca. I think I did come right after your safari had left, but then there was like a rhinoceros that like blocked the path, and they were just like, if you don't know this about Disney, they will not disturb. They are not allowed to disturb or rush the animals. If the rhinoceros decides that it's going to stand in the middle of the walkway for forever, they either have to wait for a zookeeper to be able to be free to be able to come out to take care of it, or they have to just have to wait. And generally the animals will move along, but that is kind of like they will never like beep, honk, or even try to nudge near the animals. The cast members on the safari have one of the most easy to get fired from jobs on property, and that's a piece of information that Rebecca told me actually. So it's always the rhinos, giraffes, and ostriches. Yeah. Rebecca told me that fact, so I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm going to tell you that piece of information I just gave you is that they're one of the easiest jobs to get fired from. In Disney is the safari, because their number one key. You should do the Keys to the Kingdom tour, by the way, at Magic Kingdom. Michelle and I actually have one of those booked coming up again. But the Keys to the Kingdom tour, she explained that the first key is safety, and it's very, very easy to be unsafe on the safari ride, and you can easily get your 3 strikes and out. Is it 3 strikes and out, Rebecca? I can't remember. It was that's information you told me, was the amount of strikes, and apparently it's like really easy to get like make a 3 strike mistake. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Oh, I see where it goes. Okay. Yeah, I love it when they put on the instructions. Now, I'm going to point out that I am very, very mildly red-green colorblind, and so this will be easier for some of you to see. But if you look at that, you're going to see that there's like a little red outline, and it goes underneath the piece. And I have trouble seeing those. I'm not completely colorblind. I'm just mildly red-green colorblind. So, but things like that vanish on me very, very easily. I can't. I was having trouble actually seeing where the piece went, but I've got it now. Yeah. The 3 reprimands. Yeah, there was something about 3. Yeah, but yeah, you said, but there, and I remember you saying that some mistakes are one and done. Like you screw up once, and it's like basically it's like a 3 strike system. It's 3 like marks on your record. I don't remember exactly what you said, and I know it's been a while for you too. So, and that's okay. But I am looking forward to that. I am looking forward to seeing all the new baby animals that came up. Michelle and I have a trip coming up mid-June. We're doing a split stay. We're staying at Boardwalk first, and then we are going to stay at the Polynesian for the second half. So the first half is at Boardwalk, and the second half is at Polynesian. We actually had a number of DVC points kind of booked up, and oh my goodness, the instructions are driving me nuts. They keep shutting. I may have to get like a clip or something to make them stay down. But yeah, we're doing a split stay, and that's something that my friend Jen, who's also in the chat, it's something my friend Jen actually really enjoys doing. She's the one who convinced me that we should try a split stay, actually, and I'm very excited to do this split stay. It's the first time I've ever done it. Disney will move your luggage for you. Someone hit an animal? That's crazy. Someone hit an animal. 5 years this year. 5 years for what? I don't know. Tell me what you mean by the 5 years this year. I don't know what you're talking about there, Rebecca. It might have been something I just rambled about and I just didn't catch what you said. There is a weird piece I'm supposed to put on this. Oh, there it is. Okay. And then I take... Nope, I did it backwards. The little one gets this piece. And then you add the big one. There it goes. Sometimes you have to think through the pieces as they go on. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness, instruction booklet, stay shut. Or open. Actually, I think it's open that I'm trying to have it do, and it keeps shutting on me. All right. And I need... Interesting. Oh, there they are. It's one thing about these pieces is sometimes you just lose them. Yeah, but the split stay idea is really cool. I like the fact that on the split stay, top 3 must-dos for my upcoming trip. Well, let me finish this split stay thing. So the cool thing about this split stay thing is that it's the first time I've ever done this, and Disney will automatically move your luggage for you. Just leave it with Bell Services, and they will take it to your new place. And I think that's really, really awesome. All right, I need to put something to weigh this thing down because it keeps moving on me. All right, now, yeah, and so the Disney cast members will just grab your stuff and take it where it needs to go, and then it'll meet you at your hotel room, which is pretty freaking awesome in my opinion. All right, now, so Amanda asked me, what are my 3 top must-dos for my upcoming trip? Well, number 1 is Space 220. Space 220, I actually was able to get a booking for that. It's the new restaurant in Epcot, if you don't know. Space 220 is, they basically made it look like they did a space station, and that's running on, oh, great, now the word's out of my head. It's using centrifugal force to keep the space station up, and it's connected by a cable. Space elevator. It's using a space elevator concept design, and they have it themed to the max, where they're basically like, "Hey, you're going to space, and here's some space vegetables." And when you walk in, there's a giant panorama with LED screens that are made to look like you're actually in space, looking out at the people out in space, and that's pretty awesome too. And so Space 220 is definitely one of my top 3s. Yeah, you're right, Jen. The split stays is like you're taking it. That's what I'm hoping it feels like. She said, for those of you that aren't watching the chat, she said that she hopes that it's like more than one vacation. And I think that's a pretty excellent way. It's a pretty excellent way to describe that. All right. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. So I always have to make sure it looks like the picture. And I still need to add this piece here. And now I believe it looks like the picture. So it looks like the picture to me. So all right. So here's a switch over. Here's the. Come on. All right, so this is the piece. Here's the instruction. And we're looking at number 14 there. Here's number 14. And here's the piece. I think that piece is has got it right there. All right. Continuing on. Yeah, so number one is definitely going to be for me is definitely going to be to do number one is definitely going to be that it's definitely going to be Space 220. That's number one. That number one is definitely Space 220. Let me think. What's number 2? Oh, I wish number 2 is. I wish I was going to say getting to finally eat at Hoop-de-Doo again, but unfortunately, I did not get a booking for a Hoop-de-Doo. I tried yesterday and failed. There was only one day that Michelle and I could go, and that day booked up. That time booked up, and it was only like the 3rd day, and it was a Saturday. I'm not getting a reservation, and normally you can get a reservation, but so many people were into that system, there was probably no chance of me getting a Saturday. I was more than willing to pay for a tier 1, which is like right up against the stage and the most expensive. More than willing to pay for that, but. Yeah, no, it didn't happen. It's not going to happen. And, yeah, it's just sad because I really wanted that to happen. So that would have been my number 2, but it's not. But actually, I think my must do, or it was not question. Yeah, must do. Yeah, so the one must do is definitely Space 220. The second one is to go back to Oga's Cantina. I'm very excited about Oga's Cantina. I love that space. DJ Rex is a lot of fun, and that's going to be really awesome. What's my final must do? Am I allowed to say ride the Carousel of Progress? Because I have to ride it. Like, I literally get like all worked up if I don't ride it. But no, that's probably not it. Man, that's a tough question, Amanda. Thanks. Man, I don't know. What's the final must do? Because I can't wait to go back. I'm so excited. Oh, I know what it is. Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm looking forward to riding Guardians of the Galaxy. That ride looks so awesome. I cannot wait to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, absolutely. That's going to be probably the number one this time. So I'm hoping that hey, can someone in the chat just tell me you can hear me okay? Everything sounds good. As my friend Jen will tell you, I have this thing about sound and making sure the sound sounds good. So if someone in the chat could just pop in and say, "Hey, everything sounds good, Doug," that'd be great. Just because I'm really concerned about that kind of stuff. I'm also hoping, like I said, you're enjoying the soundtrack in the background. I tried to pick some nice jazz out of the YouTube library, and I made a little playlist. So yeah, that is probably true about me being a teacher, Steve. That's probably very true. Is that I'm building a Lego, following instructions and talking about things that have nothing to do with it. I like that. Ooh, this is cute. I did not know this was in there. I love how they do this. Okay, I just want to show everybody this. And there's a piece I'm about to put in, and it has. This is not something that I love it when they hide stuff in these things. They did it in the big Disney castle. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to jump back to what I was saying. Steve, you're probably right. As a teacher, doing complicated tasks and doing those kinds of things is a lot of fun. And I think that's definitely something about being a teacher. And Jen could definitely back me up on that one. But so I'm going to show it to you. This, in the big Disney castle, they did the same thing. You made the shoes instead. But in this one, they have Cinderella's slippers on a piece. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably not focusing. I'll try it on the other camera. See if you can see that. Yeah, that one's trying to focus. There we go. See the slippers in that one? So these are hidden in the piece. So I put them right here. You wouldn't have seen that on the drawing on the front. Yeah, it's definitely not on the drawing on the front. That is awesome. And they did the same kind of thing. There's actually a hidden pair of slippers in the big version that I have upstairs. Like the one, if you're watching my regular videos, the one that's usually on the table behind me, the big pair of slippers has it has that kind of thing. That is so cool. I love the fact that they added that little tidbit in there. All right, and I need to add that piece to the top of this. It's going like this. Yeah, and so definitely my must-dos. Oh, thanks, Randall. Hey, all right, both of you are watching. Thanks, Randall. I appreciate that. Everything sounds good because I'm really, really like detail-oriented about the way the sound works, and I was very worried that it wasn't going to work. But yeah, as you can see, I do actually love Legos. If you look back here, this is the Steamboat Willie one, and when you move it, if you see it, you can see the paddle moves and the pipes move up and down. I know that. Here, I'll put my hand behind it. Just like the Steamboat Willie does. I like that one. Was a lot of fun. But thank you, Randall. Thank you for answering my question. I appreciate that. All right. I'm on instruction 19 already, by the way. I'm moving my way through it. I only got 4 more bags to go. I I'm gonna try my best here to get this done today, but we'll see. I appreciate you guys all being here with me while I do this. So anyone any more questions? Any more thoughts? Yeah, definitely the top 3 is those things. I'm very much looking forward to our we have dinner at the Yachtsman Steakhouse. And Yachtsman Steakhouse is an excellent place to is an excellent place to eat. I definitely like that. This is a weird connection thing that they're asking me to do. Yachtsman Steakhouse is a lot of fun. I like the food there. It's really good. I wanted to get Jico, but then Michelle and I kind of discussed it, and we decided that we do Jico so much that we just wanted, and Yachtsman has been closed for a while, so we wanted to get it. We wanted to get into Yachtsman because we hadn't had a chance to do that, and so we're gonna do Yachtsman instead of Jico as one of our fancy dinners. But I did get a Steakhouse 71. I did get make a Steakhouse 71 reservation, which is pretty cool. I haven't eaten there before. I ate there when it was the wave of American flavors, and that was pretty awesome. Should make a Fantasmic Lego set based off of Disneyland's version. Yeah, I think you're right, Rebecca. I think they definitely should make a Fantasmic Lego set based off of the Disneyland version. That is, I 100% agree with you. All right, this is interesting. They gave me these little mini minis. These are little tiny minis. I put it on the build camera. These are little tiny mini minis. I can't really get it to focus, but it's it's a little. And you put them in. You're putting them in the castle here. Interesting. I wonder why they did that. All right, I think that's where they go. They give you a little hey, it should look like this. I think mine looks like that. Yeah, let me move these. All right. Yep, mine looks like the picture. Still doing good. Oh yeah, Yachtsman is so good, Kyle. Absolutely great. By the way, happy belated anniversary, Lovebirds. I got to go to their wedding, and Rebecca and Kyle there. Very, very honored that I was invited to that. Thank you very much. That made me feel very special, and I appreciate that very much. Yachtsman is great. I love. It's in my opinion, it's the best steak on property. I mean, I love Le Cellier. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely, in my opinion, the best steak on property, without even a question, in my opinion. They have dry aged steaks, and they butcher them right on scene, and you don't have a lot of places that do that anymore. And Yachtsman is just really, really good. Not until July. Oh, I thought it was in May. I'm sorry. Well, happy early anniversary. I thought I had missed it. My apologies. But happy anniversary anyway. Happy early anniversary. Tell us about my experience trying to get Hoop-de-Doo. Okay. So 6 a.m. rolls around. And I'm down here in the basement because that's where my computer is. And build slowly. I don't need to build slowly, Mark. This is gonna take me a while. But sorry, Jen. So I got on the computer at 6 o'clock. I logged into my Disney experience. I pulled up Hoop-de-Doo, and I pulled up the place, and I said, and the only option it lets you do, it didn't, I don't know if it was different because I know you got one for July, Jen, but when I pulled it up, it only let me do the time for dinner. It only let me pick dinner. It didn't give me a time period, a time frame. But it didn't let me pick the time frame. So I clicked dinner on the day, and there was a tier 1 and a tier 2 reservation available. I clicked on the tier 2. I clicked on the tier 1 because I was like, oh, this one will go second. I have more of a chance to get this one because it's more expensive. I clicked on the tier 1, and by the time ticked over, it was gone. Someone had clicked it, had taken, I guess it was the last tier 1. So I quickly went back. The tier 2 was still there. I clicked it. The same thing happened. I thought maybe I'd screwed something up, so I refreshed the whole, I did a full refresh. Nope, they were gone. Just gone. I mean, basic way to describe it was upsetting because I really wanted to eat. I love Hoop-de-Doo. Michelle and I have gone a number of times. They always do that thing where they celebrate your birthday, and it's so special and magical. And I couldn't get one. And now, granted, I'm going for like day 3 of the opening. So all the bloggers, all the restaurant people, all the Disney people who have like giant channels, who have a team of people trying to get a reservation, they were all probably going for it. I have a Touring Plans. I have a Touring Plans subscription, and I highly recommend Touring Plans. Touringplans.com, fantastic place. Touringplans.com. Touringplans.com has a reservation finder, and I used that. I have that running right now, hoping that a reservation opens up on that day. Oh, you want to ask about? All right, Steve, hold on one second. I will point out that my lightsaber happens to be on display over here. I have a 3D. A friend of mine has a 3D printer, and we did a 3D printed stand, which I just popped because I was holding it wrong. And so it's got a 3D printed stand, and then you put the lightsaber into it, and it stands. It's supposed to stand up, but right now it's being angry at me because I popped it loose. But the lightsaber normally sits in this thing. I need to re-glue it because I popped it loose. But so I got this 3D print stand. It does work. It was just working over there on the side. But here is my custom Savi's Workshop lightsaber. Very pleased with that. I'll make sure I'll put it on both cameras. There we go. It's now on both cameras. But there we go. And yeah, I custom printed that one. And when you don't have the lightsaber blade in it, it just makes a sound. But I do happen to have the blade here. And because, no, Steve, I don't ever play around with this thing. But right now, I don't remember what color I have in here right now. Purple. I have purple in it. This is the Mace Windu color. But yeah, I have all the colors except for the black kyber crystal. But yeah. Great soundscape in this thing. Yeah, love that. And you can hear it. Yes, but yes, Steve, it's actually on display in my basement, and now I have to replace the. And thanks to you, I have to replace the stand. No, I'm just kidding. It popped loose, and I just have to glue it back together. That's the one thing about 3D printed stuff is that if the glue pops, you have to get back at it. So, actually, no, I might have gotten it back in enough that it'll hold the saber up. But you can't do it with the blade in it. All right, let's see if it does it now. All right, and yeah, it's acting up, but I'll have to repair it. But so that's my lightsaber. And Mark, who's on the stream watching it from his car. Mark, I got another reservation for one. And Mark is going to join me for that because he's always wanted to see that. So Mark and his wife Carrie Ann are old drum corps buddies of mine, and they're going to meet up with us, and we are going to hang out, and he's going to come with me to Savi's while I build another lightsaber because it was such a cool experience. I want to do it again, and I'm a glutton for punishment. Oh, here's another thing they have hidden. It's a picture. It's a piece, and I'll hold it up for the build camera. It's a piece that has get the glare off of it. The picture of the Lego box on it. It's literally the picture of the box that this thing came in. So this piece has this box printed on it. That's clever, and that's also going into the piece here. You know, Steve, now you got me worried that I'm gonna miss a piece. I'm gonna make you think, and I'm gonna make people think that, you know, I don't know how to build these things. Oh, you're building you're building a lightsaber for first time in July, Gen? Awesome. Who's building it? Randall or are your kids building it? Just curious. And also, and then Rebecca, the stand is awesome. It really does work. I swear to goodness, it worked until I brought it over here. But it's pretty cool. This thing is, as Randall, it just fits in there. I got it off a Thingiverse, and a friend of mine has a 3D printer, so he printed it. So now I just need to reglue it because I popped it loose. But yeah, what was the question there? Would you pay for going onto the Galactic Star Cruiser? Oh, that's a tough question. The answer is actually yes. Yes, I would. I would actually probably pay to go on the Star Cruiser. However, I wouldn't pay for it right now. I would. Yes, I want to ride the Star Cruiser, and after watching, and at first I was like, oh, I'm never going to ride that thing. You know, they're just doing a cash grab. And while they may be doing a cash grab, now that I have seen videos of people doing it and watched the experience from people's perspective, and they talk about how immersive it is, it might actually be worth the money. Randall's gonna build it. Okay, and so Randall, have fun. And it's a great experience. I get frisson from it. Totally got chills from doing the build. But the Galactic Star Cruiser, Rebecca. Yes, I will probably do. I will probably do it like a fool at some point in time. Not anytime in the very near future, but it will definitely be a part of my. It'll definitely be a part of the build my build back better Disney, I guess. No, I'm thinking building Legos, and that's where that word came from. No, it's going to be part of it'd definitely be part of my my trip at one point in time. I mean, I have Space 220, so I guess that's close enough. And I love Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is so cool. And as we pointed out when Michelle and I talked about our couples favorites, and we kind of went through our list of favorites together on that recent video, which you should check out that video, by the way, if you haven't seen it. It was a lot of fun to make with Michelle. In that couples video, we talked. She called me out on how much I like Ronto wraps. She's like, your favorite food in Hollywood Studios is Ronto wraps. Stop lying to people. And she's not wrong. Yeah, I do actually really love the Ronto wraps. They're so good. The main thing. I guess the main thing for me, Rebecca, to kind of continue on your question about the Star Cruiser is, I do want to do it. I'm just concerned. I'm just concerned at the price right now. The price is mildly prohibitive, in my opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion, but it's mildly prohibitive in my opinion right now. Even though it's not horrendous. I've seen experiences of similar things go for about the same price, and yeah, that's just kind of the way I feel about it. All right, here we go. Build update. I'll put Mickey next to it. Here's the picture. I'll make it look like the picture, and I'll switch over to the big build camera. Here we go. Bag number 1 is finished. Only took me 40 minutes. Also because I'm talking too much. But, it flipped back. There you go. There's the picture. Number 25. I think I have everything built the way it looks on the page. All right, continuing on. Let's keep going. Ooh. All right, bag number 2. Here we go, bag number 2. Yeah, there's always little bit pieces that end up being leftovers. I actually have like a little Tupperware container over here where I put the little pieces when I'm done, when I'm looking for them. I don't know where it is right now, but I probably moved it so I wouldn't stand on it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have a little like Gladware container, just filled with all the little pieces that end up being extra. All right, bag number 2. Here we go. Like I said, I do find Lego building to be cathartic. But I also find talking about Disney to be cathartic. Let's see. Oh, here's a new experience Michelle and I are doing. And there's a little bit of a story for this. So Michelle and I are driving from up here near Philadelphia to Disney World this year. First time I've ever done that. We've ever done that. I've never done it with my family. We've always flown, but there is a story. There's a story behind that, and the reason being that we are driving is because airlines suck right now. It's really, actually, to be honest, it's actually kind of upsetting. The airline, I have been a proponent of Southwest Airlines for decades. No joke. Proponent of Southwest Airlines for decades. Love them. They've always been great to us. Great customer service. And, hi, sis. Wow, my sister's watching. Nice to see you. And we were gonna fly, and then we realized that we really were not gonna fly, because it's really simple. First off, the first thing that caused the first problem is that Southwest has always, and I mean for as long as we have flown them, which is one of the reasons we like them, they have always had a direct flight from Philadelphia International Airport to MCO. And all of a sudden, there is no direct flight. Now, it's normally a 2-hour flight to Orlando. Now, I would understand, kind of, if there was a stop somewhere like Atlanta, which is on the way, or if there was a stop at, say, maybe Fort Mill, South Carolina. If there's a stop that was in the direction we were supposed to be traveling, like, I would totally understand that. However, there is not. The flights that normally used to take 2 hours now are taking literally 7 hours, because there's 2 different flights. There's one flying to Chicago, and there's one flying to Houston, and then to Orlando. And both of them have like an hour and a half layover in between. One of them, the one to Houston, you don't change planes, but the one in Chicago, you do change planes. But, like, there's no direct flights in Southwest. So I started looking at other airlines. I went to other airlines, which is not something I have ever done before. I started looking for other airlines. Yeah, we thought about that too, Kyle, and I'll get to that in a second. Kyle, about driving to Baltimore and taking a flight out of Baltimore. We actually looked into that. We did. Because my sister lives near Washington, D.C., and she's actually in the chat right now. She lives outside of Washington, D.C., and we thought, we'll go to Jen's place, and we'll try to work that out. Well, here's the problem. We really couldn't find a flight. We couldn't find a flight doing... There was... The flights that they were offering out of Baltimore were like $400 a ticket. That's per person for the round trip. So that's $800 trip. Normally our flight from Philadelphia would cost us around, and even the flights, and the non-direct flights were going to cost us our normal amount, like around $600, about $300 to $250 to $300 per person. And we're looking at like $400 per person. So that's like, that's a pretty hefty upgrade in expense. So anyway, I'm making sure I have all my pieces on because I've been talking too much. I start looking at other airlines. I start looking at Spirit and Frontier. And Spirit and Frontier are not exactly my favorite. I mean, I literally call them steerage class, because that's pretty much how they treat you. Both of those airlines. And they nickel and dime the heck out of you. But they always offer discounts if you wait a little bit. So I waited and was watching it. And long story short, long story short, all of a sudden, I noticed that. I hate it when you can't find a piece. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for a piece. I have all these. All right. Says I should have one more of these stackable ones. Am I just not seeing it? Well, I'll look for the piece in a second. But anyway, so we're looking for we're following these airlines, going, okay, we'll take one of these and the price will go down. So the price finally went where it went, and I decided I was going to wait till my paycheck hit, my school paycheck hit, to just out of like personal caution, and yeah, I'm definitely missing a piece. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm supposed to add another piece on top of this one. Another one of these round ones. Oh no! This might be cut short. Can't exactly put it unless I knocked it on the floor somewhere. I am definitely not seeing that piece. Alright, I see these. Yeah, there's definitely supposed to be a piece on top of this that I do not have. Oh no! Well, that's the first. That has never happened in all of my Lego history. I've never had a piece missing. I have both of these. Both of these. Two of these. One there, one there. One there, one there. Make sure I didn't put it on in a stupid place. One, two. Oh, hold on. Backing up. So I'm having one of those moments where I can't tell if I was supposed to put two pieces on this or one. Okay, so there's three of them. So 1, 2, 3. Having one of those moments, folks. Sorry. I might have put an extra piece down that I wasn't supposed to put down. All right. Take a look at this again. Okay. That looks like that. Now, this... Put the... This, I might have just solved what the problem is. Give me 1 second, folks. And the... Anyway, so I was looking at Spirit Airlines, and Spirit Airlines... Yeah, I added extra pieces that I didn't need to add. Okay, let's try this again. So Spirit Airlines was like... You know, Spirit and Frontier both had the price around the same thing. It was going to actually be about $585 per person. $585 per person, and total. $585 total. And I was like, oh, I'm going to wait till my paycheck hits, just because that's the way I am. And I went to wait for my paycheck, and then I went. So next it was the next week, literally a week later that I went to go do that, and the price of the plane ticket to Florida, which was a direct flight, mind you, had doubled. Like, literally gone from $585 for the two of us to $585 per person on all of the airlines. There was not, and I checked everywhere. Like, I checked everywhere. And it was like, I was like, what the heck happened? Like, where did this price hike come from? And yeah, it was literally doubled. Yeah, like I said, Kyle, I've only ever, they're 150 one way, Jen, and that's not including all the nickel and diming, which we would get from paying for the. You're right. It is 150 one way, but you also have to pay for your seat, and you have to pay for your luggage. And if we're going to Disney, we can't go without luggage, and the price just keeps going up. But I think we're still gonna drive. I just don't trust them anymore. Let's just be honest here. But I appreciate you looking that up. All right. Where is that piece? There it is. Okay, gotta do this 5 times. All right, I'll do it 5 times then. Number 1. That was a satisfying snap. Yeah, so we're not flying anymore. I love to have experience. What kind of experience, Carrie-Ann? What would you love to have with your teens? What? Okay, Jen, now you're just being weird. Naked Disney. All right. I'm not planning on doing that anytime soon. I would prefer not to get a lifetime ban. But the main thing, I just couldn't believe that the price literally doubled. I mean, it literally doubled. It was like, what the heck? All right, now where do these go? These go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. I just thought of that strange Tootsie Pop commercial. 5. All right, got that. I think that's ready to go. Let's try putting this together correctly, Ballard. And all right, I need these. The 6-holers. I need these. I need to go here. Like that. Yep, that's how it goes. And I need the same thing here. I need to be your first charter customers. I'd love to have that experience with our teens. Carrie-Ann, mildly, I'm yeah, it's okay, Jen. You can be in my chat anytime. I'm glad that you're here. Carrie-Ann, again, what were you talking about with the you'd love to have that experience? What experience would you like to have? Are you talking about driving, or what are you talking about? That I'm waiting for that question to get broadcast. I'm really excited about this trip. I'm really excited about this trip because we're going for longer than we ever have before. It's our first time really using our DVC points, and having our DVC points and being able to have this really extended stay is pretty awesome. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized that I never switched back to the dual camera. Here you go. Dual camera's back. But I'm really excited about having that experience, the experience of driving down there. I'll tell you what I am looking forward to. It has nothing to do with Disney. I'm looking forward to going to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is this convenience store in Florida that I have always wanted to go to. And Mark and Carrie-Ann, please don't ruin it for me. Don't tell me that Buc-ee's is terrible and then I'm going to hate it or something, because I really am looking forward to going to Buc-ee's. I've heard so much about it, and we're planning on trying to stop at the one in in Daytona, because it's apparently the most on our way. So we're kind of going for that. And yeah, so but please don't tell me, Carrie-Ann, that and Mark, that Buc-ee's is a terrible place and I should never go there. Because I'll be like, no, I want to go. But I need 2 more of those things. Where are these going? Oh, they're going up front. Okay. But yeah, one of the things I definitely want to go to is I definitely want to go to Buc-ee's, and that should be fun. I mean, if you don't know what Buc-ee's is basically, for those who don't know, it's a giant convenience store where it's all tongue in cheek, and it's a kind of cheesy, snacks and all kinds of other things that they put together. and it's in general it's just supposed to be a lot of fun, and they're famous for their snacks. Apparently their snacks are pretty incredibly good, despite the fact that it's like straight up convenience store like snacks. They're supposed to be like really good. It's supposed to be like, Wawa without the hoagies, for those of you who know what a Wawa is. I don't know. I'm I do hope that everything is going okay. I haven't seen any chats pop up in a while, so I know everyone's there because I can see that I have viewers, but I'm not seeing anything with this. All right, so it's showing me a side view of what it should look like. Looks like my side view is correct, according to this. All right, so far so good. Okay, next page, 34. Let's see what we got here. All right, I need to take these things, well, I'm going to do this first, actually. So what some of the reservations that we have, like we have two, count them, visits to Oga's Cantina Reserve, which I'm very excited about. Oga's Cantina is a lot of fun. And we also have what is it? We have, oh man, of course, now my brain's blanking. I may have to pull out my phone and look. We pretty much got everything going. Oh yeah, we also have a breakfast, and we have a breakfast and a dinner reserved at Ohana. We're going to be able to do that with some of our friends. My friend Stephanie and her husband Mike, who live down there. Mike is a friend of a Green Army man, and he plays. And that Green Army man is a very talented percussionist, and we're going to be able to hang out with them. And my friend Daryl and his new wife Megan are going to be joining us at Yachtsman's, which was very nice. I always love the fact that we get to hang out with our friends in those areas. It's always been so nice. And all right, now I'll start adding these other pieces. Whoop! One of the walls trying to come down. Yeah, the one thing I love about Lego, and just to kind of like a side note, is that the designers think of the way to stabilize everything. Everything ends up stabilized. Really cool antique shop in Lakeland, about an hour away from Disney World, that has all older stuff from past Disney. Oh, I've seen Paging Mr. Morrow. Paging Mr. Morrow goes there regularly and like shows you all that old stuff. Yeah. I'm glad you like the. I'm glad you like the screen and screen gen. But yeah, I've heard that Lakeland place, the Paging Mr. Morrow, one of the channels I really like, and I highly recommend his channel. If he actually did a really he visits there regularly, and I think so. Yeah, I've heard about that place. Yes, I am building a lightsaber, Jen. I'm building another lightsaber and my friend Mark's going to get to come along with me because you're allowed to bring a guest. Michelle flat out said, I will never go in and watch that ever again. She literally used those words because it's very rare when you have a poor interaction with a cast member. And the cast members in Savi's, when I was building the lightsaber the first time, the cast members in Savi's were like, stay back, stay back, stay back. And I've never heard of them doing that again. Like they pretty much like yelled at Michelle to not get too close to me while I was building. And there was a dad in there trying to help his daughter build her lightsaber. Like this little girl was building her lightsaber and she was super stoked about it, but she was having trouble. She was like 6 and they wouldn't let him help her, which was weird. And I've been told that was a unusual experience. That's not usually how it goes in the Savis, but no, there's no Little Mermaid lightsabers to convince Michelle to come in. You're correct, Jen. Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad, Rebecca. That's where you heard about the Lakeland Antique Shop. Hey, Rebecca, did you and Kyle ever go to that place that they let cast members buy the old furniture from? I don't know what it's called. I know that they have that place where you can buy, they let you buy the old furniture. Did you and Kyle ever check that place out? I'm just curious. Okay. This is weird. It's got instructions about we're building a little piece. Oh, I get it. Okay. So I need this, and I need this. Got it. All right. We're building a piece that's going to go on. I love it when they do these little pieces that go on stuff. All right, and then we need this, and we need, where's the twofer? And we need this. How many times am I doing this? I guess once. Okay. Now we need to put gold, white, gold. Oh, cast connections. Okay, cast connections. So explain to me real quick, Rebecca, what do you find in cast connections? Like, what can you find in there? Like, I know it's furniture, but what else can you find there? And it's only for cast members, right? Only cast members can like look in this place. Jen, I actually can't play It's a Small World while I build because that would actually get me a copyright strike. So I wouldn't actually be able to do that while I'm running a live stream. They would actually like silence my live stream because they actually listen to that kind of stuff. All right. And this one goes where? It goes into these arms, okay? Oh, yeah. I built these little arms, these like grabber arms, and now I have to like fit this piece into it. That's kind of cool. I think I just did it. Yep, it's in. Oh, wow. It holds the wall up. Check that out. So I put that piece. I'll show you the next one because I'm building a couple more of them. All right, so... All right, I got this. And then I need this again. Nope, that's not the right piece. I need this. And I need... this. I'm doing this twice, so let me do that. Here's that. Here's this. And here's that. I really appreciate you guys all being here, by the way. It's where I got my Rivers of Light popcorn bucket. Yeah, because you worked Rivers of Light, didn't you, Rebecca? You were working there right at the end of your college program. You're doing that? It's pretty much stuff they don't sell out of the parks. Pins and eventually see them up to 3 guests. You just, okay, so only cast members can go in the furniture store. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been to the character warehouse over at the outlets. That I have done, but I've always wanted to go into Cast Connections. Now, can you go into Cast Connections? Can you go into Cast Connections as a former cast member, or do you have to be a current cast member to go into Cast Connections? That's what I'm curious about. But the yeah. All right, I was right. You were on Rivers of Light. I do remember that. The market with fruit. Oh wow, with all the candy apples and stuff. Nice. That must be fun. But I am curious though if you can go, or if you're allowed to go in as a former cast member, or do you have to be a current cast member? But yeah, there's for those of you who don't know, I actually have a really quick video that I made about in January of a couple years ago, where I ended up going to the character warehouse. That was a pretty cool experience. The discounts were pretty good. I mean, I got an iPhone case, an OtterBox iPhone case for like nothing. And there's a couple other things. I picked up a couple bags and some shirts and some other things that were relatively inexpensive. I need to flatten these pieces out. They don't want to go flat. And so the character warehouse was really, really cool. Oh, you need to be a current cast member. Okay, so you can't go into it anymore. I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe you should just go back and start working there again. Just so you can go into Cast Connections. All right, I made need 2 of these. There's probably one more I need to make of a different type. All right, so I've got these 2 pieces. So they got these little handles on the back. So I'll show it to you. I'll put it on the build camera. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got this little handle on the back, and then what I do is, and I don't know where these are going yet. They're going to show me probably on the next page. These are going on the back of the castle. So I'll show you what it does. So it's kind of... Sorry, Amanda, I'm breaking the spine of the book again. You have to... So you go in here, and then there's these little grabber things, and then you just push this into there, and now you have that piece is now hooked in. I think that's ingenious. I love the people over at Lego. They figure everything out. All right, I think I've almost got this. All right, I need to put these things in here, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's the 5th one, goes in there. Okay. All right. You like teaching too much and having benefits. Well, yeah, that's definitely a good reason to. It's definitely a good reason to do that. Rebecca, remind me again, where are you teaching now? I don't think I know. I don't think I actually. Yeah, I do not know. I'll be honest. I do not know at all. So where are you at? So for me, the drive down's gonna be cool. Going to Buc-ee's, I'm really excited about going to Buc-ee's. I know I'm stupid for feeling that way, but that one is going to be that's going to definitely be something that I am excited about. All right, go like this. This is a weird put this piece on. Okay, then I take the gold and stick the gold in there. All right, there we go. And I am kind of excited about going to Buc-ee's. That's going to be a lot of fun. I am excited about the fact that Michelle and I are going to have our car there, so it doesn't we don't have to worry about whether or not we have enough room for all of the stuff we end up buying, which is probably a bad thing. But I am excited about all that too. So I had a thought because of Rebecca mentioning my great movie ride poster. Oh, in the Montgomery County area. Actually, I think one of my friends just applied for a job in that same place. It was like a high school it opened up. Oh man, I don't remember the name of it. It was a lady's name, and I can't remember the name of the school. A friend of mine who's actually decided to go with a job in Nevada instead. For me, it's like I don't know if I'd want to be hot like that, but okay. But yeah, he turned down the job in Maryland. It was, I want to say it was Eastern Shore, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But okay, now I need to make this weird piece. Take this and this, put that on there, and then put this on here. But yeah, so the thought I had was, and I know, sorry, my brain's going all over the place, is Great Movie Ride is one of the things that I very much miss. I very much miss the Great Movie Ride. It's a fantastic ride, and I very much miss the Great Movie Ride, and that is something I wish that hadn't vanished. But I do have to say that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is awesome. It's actually very awesome in my opinion, and I love the theming. I love the whole thing. It was an excellent replacement. It was an excellent replacement for what had been in there. Oh, I gotta fix something. Didn't put it on right. What do I need? These need to be facing. Okay, that's weird. So if this is like this, looks like that, right? Okay. Then I have to go. All right, I'm not understanding this. I need to go back. All right, so I made this piece. It looks like that. All right, I got that. And then this is what Lego does. Yeah, but yeah, I do really like Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. It's a lot of fun, and it's kind of like, I like the humor of it. Okay, and so where does this go? Like this? Oh, I think it goes like that. Okay, now I got it. All right. And then I put this stack on here. Create this. But some of the other things that I miss, I actually miss the kitchen cabaret. But that kind of shows how old I am, and so I probably shouldn't say that. But I actually do miss the kitchen cabaret. Kitchen cabaret, veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit, veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit. Definitely a fan of the of that whole situation. Cha cha cha. Oh, I see where it goes. Actually, I just put it in the wrong spot. Okay, it goes like this. All right. This part is kind of fiddly. But yeah, I do miss the kitchen cabaret in the Land Pavilion, but Soarin', again, is a great replacement. It's a fantastic replacement, actually, and that I enjoy Soarin'. Soarin' was my favorite ride until they made Flight of Passage, and then Flight of Passage then got replaced, in my opinion, by Rise of Resistance. I mean, Rise of Resistance. If you don't know, if you haven't been on Rise of Resistance, it is probably the greatest ride I have ever been on. And it's not just because it's Star Wars. It's literally one of the best. It's literally one of the best. It's literally one of the best rides I have ever been on. And for the fact, it's a technological marvel. It's a technological marvel. It just blows me away how incredibly awesome that ride is. But then on top of that, you're in the story. You're in the story from the moment you get into it. All right, let me see this. I teach. Too bad they can't bring back Cranium Command. Yeah, I like Cranium Command, but I actually liked Body Wars better. Body Wars, in my opinion, was better than Cranium Command. But that's just me. That's just the way I kind of feel about it. Okay, so this needs to go towards the little pieces sticking up. Needs to go towards the front. Oh wait, all sides of it. Now, yeah, Cranium Command, though, Rebecca, you are right. Cranium Command was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that, but I actually like Body Wars better. That one was where your own immune system is like going after you. Definitely appreciated that. Okay, I think I have this. This looks the way that the picture does. Let's see where this one goes. Oh, it goes in that space. Okay. And it goes like this. Hold on. Ah! Oh no. Okay, it is supposed to be swung out like that. All right. But I pulled a piece off by accident, so now I got to stick that back on. Ah! It's all crashing down. All right. All right, it's supposed to have that little swing out. All right, now I get it. All right. We good. We're good. All right. My guess is that it's supposed to move for some reason, but I don't know why. Oh my god. Fiddly little parts. Stop falling apart. But yeah, Body Wars I liked. I have to be honest, I did like Body Wars a little bit better than Cranium Command. Let's see, what else do I miss? Actually, here's the thing. Though it's a part of a ride that I miss, and I have mentioned this to my wife before. Is that on the Safari actually, Rebecca, the thing that I actually missed is that rickety old bridge that would pretend to try to dump you off. I really am curious. I'm honest to goodness curious. Why did they stop? Why did they stop doing that? By the way, I'm moving on to bag 3. Yay! All the parts are on from bag 2, and I didn't screw anything up. At least I don't think I did. Got a little bits left, but they're all like the single little bits. There's a bag of little bit parts here. Ooh, this has got turrets and stuff on it, so we're getting there. But I do, like I said, I miss that rickety old bridge. Do you know what? Yeah, with Little Red. Why did they stop doing the rickety bridge? They don't have to have the story. They can just be like, uh-oh, this bridge looks a little dangerous, and then run it. For some reason, they don't even do the rickety bridge thing anymore, which I don't understand. I mean, the rickety bridge wouldn't hurt anybody, right? So here's our progress. Build cam up. There's our progress. All right, so this is the piece so far. Looks pretty good. Oh, well, I'll tell you this. So Rebecca, I'll tell you this. The bridge, I've not had anyone like turn the bridge on and me get like chased out of it anytime soon. So I don't know. I love that little bridge effect. I mean, I never thought I was actually in danger. I just, don't understand why they stopped doing it. Like, or is it just not running? Does it just not run a lot? Does it break down a lot? I mean, it could be like Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance has 37 fail points apparently, which is always kind of fun. And 37 fail points is a lot of fail points. But I was actually here's a story. Randomly ran into one of my close friends from college. Her name is Christina, and her parents were randomly in Disney World and ran into Michelle and I while we were sitting with Christina's sister, and we randomly ran into them. Her sister's name is Elizabeth. Randomly ran into them at the what is it called? I'm so terrible with names. Baseline Tap House, which is just outside of Galaxy's Edge. We just randomly ran into them, and we ended up going on. We actually ended up with our boarding groups for Rise of Resistance, because there's still boarding groups for Rise of Resistance, being there at the same time. Oh, they turned it off as a long wait. Okay, I understand that. All right, that makes sense. But so anyway, yeah, so we actually ended up riding Rise of Resistance at the same time. But right before we got into the interrogation chamber part of it, the ride broke down, and they gave us the option to leave or come back, and they'll give us like they'll give us an experience pass, or we could wait because it may only take about 30 minutes to bring the ride up. So Michelle and I and everybody else in the party actually opted to wait. And we're glad we did, because we got on the ride. Only problem is we saw Kylo Ren in B mode, which happens. And but I have a great video. There's one. I have a great video that I made. I'm sorry, touting my own praises there, but I have. It was great fun to make. I actually got a chance to ride Rise of Resistance twice, and while I was riding Rise of the Resistance, I actually was able to get all modes of Rise of Resistance. I got the A mode, I got B mode, and I also got both view angles. And so I actually put together a Rise of Resistance video where I actually like merged all the view angles together, so you can see going up past the cockpit of the AT-AT, or the side door of the AT-AT, and and you also get both view angles in the Star Destroyer bridge, and you also get to see the A mode of Kylo Ren and the B mode of Kylo Ren. And like I said, I don't want to give much of that away, but I need to move that piece over one, and So that being able to kind of see that was very cool. And like I said, I put a video together. So if you want to see what it looks like, you should check that video out. And that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to put together. All right. See that little red border? They need to find a different border than a red border. My red-green colorblindness doesn't like it. But yeah, that video is a lot of fun to make, and you should check if you get a chance. You should check that out at some point in time. Please, I would appreciate it. All these parts are in different areas of the bag, which is weird. All right, got that. I just need to stack these two pieces. Rise of the Resistance, though. I mean, I literally just sit there with when I first walked the first time I ever walked into the room with the stormtroopers, I literally just go, ho, 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 ho. You can hear it on the video that I made from that trip vlog. That was from September of 2020 that I got on that ride. And I think it was September of 2020. Might have not been. Well, whenever it was, I'm trying to remember exactly when it was, but whenever it was, I think it was September of 2020. And as I was getting on that ride, as I got off of the transport ship and walked down to that ride, it was literally like, I was actually on a Star Destroyer bridge. Kyle, I see the question. This right here is actually every single Star Wars character from episodes 1 through 6, and every single major screen time vehicles like TIE fighters and AT-ATs and the Scout Walkers. It has every single version of Anakin Skywalker. It has every single character that was in movies 1 through 6. This was gifted to me 15 years ago. Yeah. 15 years ago. And it's an awesome. I keep it in my basement so it won't fade. There's no direct sunlight that ever hits it. And I have that. And that one was gifted to me a long time ago. I also have a Big Hero 6 poster. You can't see it. It's off camera. It's over there. And there's a Martian that was actual used in the theater, The Martian, with a big Matthew Damon's face on it over there in the corner. This is where my movie collection is and all that stuff. But yeah, this poster has been hanging down here forever, and I've had it, I'd say 15 years at least. It's got all of them, like all the characters, and they're supposed to be proportionate and all that other stuff. But that's what that portrait is. So hopefully, but yeah, but that's what that is. But I love Star Wars. I love Galaxy's Edge. It's so much fun. So I'm gonna start because I appreciate the questions too. Thank you very much for asking what that was. But the thing I would say that I'm most looking forward to in Animal Kingdom, I'm most looking forward to trying out to first off, we're going to be going back for the first time in a long time. We're going to be going back to Tusker House. And I will say that Michelle and I, every time we have ever gone to Tusker House, it sucked. And I know you're like, then why are you going back? Well, the word is that now that it's not a buffet, that this family style thing that they're doing is exceptionally good. And because we are Disney foodies, at least we like to classify ourselves as Disney foodies, because we are Disney foodies, we're going to be going back to Tusker House, and we're going to try to give it another shot. I'm very much hoping that it doesn't suck again, because that was pretty awful. We had a number of bad experiences eating at that place. Oh, that's a cute way to make a window. All right, so they're doing this thing where I take this piece right here, I put it on the build cam, okay, and that piece right there, and I'm taking these two clear plastic square covers, that's what Lego actually calls them. They're called square covers or post covers, and you make it look like a window. I don't know if you can see. I'll try to like move it around there for you. But you can kind of make it look like a window, and then you take that piece and you're putting it up here so that you have a little window. Is that, yeah, that's where it goes. Okay, so it sticks out a little bit, and then I take this piece. All right, now I take a 3-holer, and I hold that down with a 3-holer. Yep, see, making it look secure. Love it. But, yeah, so we're going to try Tusker House again. We do have a reservation there. And very excited about that. We have a new food experience for us is we're going to try Boathouse over in Disney Springs. My friend Sammy is going to join us for that one. But Boathouse has a really good reputation for being a lot of fun. Michelle is actually looking forward to trying that one too because she's never been to Boathouse. And she's heard that even though she's not a seafood person, that she will still enjoy it, which is good because she, it's tough when you're not a seafood person and a place is known for their seafood. And she knows that I love seafood, and so she's going to bite the bullet, so to speak, and try it because she's actually heard good thing about their stuff that's not seafood, and I'm actually kind of excited about that. I'm making this next piece I'm making looks like I make like a fake brick facade. It's going to be kind of cool. All right, so let's see what it looks like. I got that. And then I need little pieces like this. We went to Tusker House last summer and it was just okay. Magic Music says, which is my friend Jen, and you should, again, if for those of you who didn't hear me say it before, you should check out her channel. One of the best Disney vloggers out there, in my opinion. I am not just saying that because she's here in the room. I honestly believe that. I love watching her video vlogs and then her very well-researched informational vlogs. Everything she's ever made, I've ever watched, I've always enjoyed. There's never been a moment where I'm like, oh, what was that? Fantastic vlogger. She needs more subscribers. Subscribe to her channel, please. I love her stuff, and you should really check out her stuff. It's dead serious. You should do that. But she says, we went to Tusker House last summer, and it was just okay. They put us in the large room, and we didn't like the setup. We think we would have liked it better in one of the smaller rooms. Yeah, I can understand that, because it's also because you at that time, you're still having, like, the character flybys, right? They weren't actually staying with you. They weren't actually, like, eating with you. Yes. You're right, Rebecca. Just like the fact that there's no bricks on Cinderella's castle, they're all etched into the concrete facade. But I am making, like I said, you can't really tell. It won't come clearly on the camera, but I'm making basically. I'll see if I can. Maybe I can get it to show up there. It's probably impossible to see, but there's you can definitely tell that it has it's trying to make a fake brick shape to it. But yeah, Jen, I think you're right though. I think that the where you end up is very, very important for the success of that, for that space, definitely. But yeah, we're trying Tusker House. We also the other thing. Here's something I'm excited about. Michelle and I are going to try to do the 4-park 1-day challenge. We have a day where we have that set up. And it's actually the day we go to Yachtsman, and Yachtsman is so we can be near Epcot at the end of the night, and hopefully end up in Epcot before it closes, and get on something before it closes. For us, the 4-park 1-day challenge involves making sure you ride at least one ride in every park, and trying to either like visit see an attraction and at least get on one ride. That's a weird piece. Okay, I was like, what is that? It's a little cover. And so we're checking, we're that's kind of our little thing with that. And very much looking forward to trying to do the 4 parks in 1 day challenge, which should be a lot of fun. We're doing that. Yeah, that's the same day. Like I said, that's the same day as the reservation at Yachtsman, and that was on the Yachtsman reservation was on purpose so that we could do that. But yeah, we're trying the 4 parks 1 day challenge on that day. We also have, like I said, a Keys to the Kingdom tour reserved. We did that once before, and we absolutely adored that insider information thing. It was just so good, and yeah, I totally love that. The insider that they do actually treat you like you're a cast member and the whole 9 yards. And yeah, that was really cool. So we booked, they opened them up again, so we booked another one. We had one of those like in the early morning. The nice thing about that is that those are not as expensive as you would think they were going to be. It's actually cheaper. We do get an annual pass discount, and with our annual pass discount, it came out to, I want to say like $89, maybe $91 per person, which isn't bad because you get a 5-hour tour. You get a 5-hour tour, and you get a 5-hour tour, and you get lunch or whatever you're doing the tour. You get lunch at Pecos Bills, or sometimes they do Cosmic Rays, I guess, but usually it's lunch at Pecos Bills, and you pick it before you go, and it's part of the tour. You get to go in the utilidors, and when we were down there, we saw princesses in their warm-up outfits. It was kind of like that scene in Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet, and the princesses were in their warm-up outfits, and that was kind of fascinating. I actually definitely thought that was interesting, and the lady who was doing our tour got super excited about the fact that they were in their warm-up outfits and we were going to get to see it. It was really funny. And actually that same tour guide, when we did it, she actually got like teary talking about what Walt Disney meant to her. That was such an awesome experience for us that we definitely want to have a similar experience. It was so incredible to be able to witness her like belief that she loved working at Disney, and we were so grateful to be a part of that and to be able to witness her love of what she does. And she basically said that working at Disney was exactly what she had wanted to do her entire life, and she had no intention of going anywhere else. Now, I do hope that still holds true. I hope she wasn't one of the furloughed cast members. I just hope that, like I said, I do hope that she is just as happy working there, and just as happy working there as she was the day when she gave that tour, because she was incredible, and Michelle and I both agree on that feeling with her, because that woman made the tour. That woman definitely made the tour great. And we actually had a similar experience many years before that. The other tour that I actually recommend often to people is the Behind the Scenes tour in the land, and the Behind the Scenes tour in the land was the Behind the Scenes tour in the land. We've done that like 4 or 5 times. It's no joke, 4 or 5 times. And the Behind the Scenes tour actually has one of the best values for what you get of anywhere in the parks. And but we went on it with this kid who was a kid. Literally was a kid, and he was very excited to be working for the Land Pavilion. He was an actual biologist, and he specialized in plant biology, and he gave the best tour. Now that tour is only supposed to last an hour, and I think it went over by 45 minutes. I think we were in that trip for an hour and 45 minutes, and we did not care. Because the guy was so informative and loved his job so much that we did not care that he went over by that much. And that tour, we got a great bang for the buck out of that. All right, so Magic of the Music says, It was more like see a character across the room at that point. We did 3 character meals that trip, and it was the worst one. Yeah, the worst one of the character meals. I'm assuming you're saying. Yeah, I've heard differently now that they're back to hugging. So I'm hoping that because they can get closer, that we will have a different experience than that. Because I've heard that the Tusker House characters are a lot of fun. Apparently, they Donald Duck brings his A game to Tusker House. So one of the things that I will say that I will never do, speaking of Animal Kingdom, is here's me running at the mouth, just having my thoughts come out of nowhere. Okay, I made this piece and now I just set it aside, I guess. And one of the things that I just don't do at Animal Kingdom is I don't do Kali River Rapids. I have said this multiple times in many of my trip vlogs. I despise getting wet on rides. I mean, it even upsets me when it happens on Pirates. And there in my on my channel, there's a ride through of Pirates that I did a long time ago, and there's at one point in time right after we see Barbossa, you see I threw a countdown up on the screen because the cannon shot went off right next to the boat. And I mean, I got soaked, and you just hear me go, oh, because I hate getting wet on rides. And the main thing, and I'll tell you, Kali River Rapids, I just won't go on. I just won't get on it. I won't ride it. I'm not interested. I don't want to get wet. And I've been on it. I was on it once. I've done it. I may bite the bullet and do it sometime. But again, I don't think so. I just don't think so. Yeah, not a fan of Kali River Rapids and getting wet. I just hate it. I just won't do it. All right, and but yeah, at Splash Mountain, I always sit in the back row. If you sit in the back row, you only get a face full of water. It's not that bad. But that's an interesting way to put this piece together. All right. Oh, I see what it's going to do. Okay. And but Kali River Rapids, I do ride Splash Mountain. I do ride other things that have water in them, like Pirates of the Caribbean. And I always ride Pirates of the Caribbean. I have to. It's a requirement for Michelle and I. We claim we weren't in Magic Kingdom if we don't ride Pirates of the Caribbean, but yeah, I just hate getting wet. I hate it. And I will avoid it at all costs just because I hate it that much. But yeah. Never go on Disneyland Splash Mountain. We get drenched. Yeah, the Laughing Place has that one. I've been on it, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been on it, and it the Laughing Place they have that one waterfall that just dumps on you. If the boat stops, you get absolutely drenched. I have been on it. I have been on the Disneyland version of Splash Mountain, and you are absolutely correct. And yes, Kyle, it is fact. It is an absolute fact. That was going on like that. But yeah, again, I want to thank, as I'm kind of working on this build here, I want to thank you all for those of you who have been here and are sticking it out and chatting with me. Very much appreciate it. I'm very glad to be able to share my love of Disney and love of Lego at the same time with my friends. Hope you guys are kind of enjoying the process as I kind of go through this. So I went to Kali River Rapids. All right, so Magic the Music says, I went on Kali River Rapids twice in a row and didn't get wet at all. I've been avoiding it for years and was shocked when I came off the ride dry. It was weird. Yeah, that would be weird. I've heard that you really only get wet if you go down if you're at the back of the spinner. And you go down the hill and you're at the back of the spinner. That's apparently when you really take on a lot of water. I did not get all that wet on Kali River Rapids, but I got a soggy bottom, so I definitely don't ever want to do that again. Yeah, I don't like it when I don't like it. Well, I'll just be blunt. I don't like it when my underpants get wet. It sucks, and I don't want it to happen again. So, and that's what happened when I rode Calgary Rapids the first time. I don't want it. Oh, speaking of other things in that I always tell people, if one of the tips I give people is actually about it's tough to be a bug. I adore It's Tough to Be a Bug. I wish you were allowed to film on that show. Not so I could film the show, but so that I could film the audience reaction. That ride terrorizes children. Absolutely terrorizes children. Now, Jen, you have children. Have you taken your kids on It's Tough to Be a Bug, and how did they handle it? I'm curious because I have been on that ride, and literally the room is filled with the howls of terrified, absolutely horrified children. I mean, just freaking out, horrified. And I'm just curious how your kids, because your kids seem pretty awesome in your vlogs. I'm just curious how your kids handle It's Tough to Be a Bug. So if you don't mind answering that question, you don't have to. I'm just curious. Rebecca says, fun fact, it used to have 2 ride paths in the original design, summer and winter, but it got too pricey and it's now just the winter path. Most expensive ride to run in the parks. Didn't you say something about like just starting the pumps costs like $20,000 or something like that? Starting the pumps to get the ride moving costs like a massive amount of money. I think I remember you saying that at one point in time. I think you told me that in like I think you said that in one of my as a comment in one of my videos actually. Thanks, by the way, for interacting with my videos, Rebecca. I really appreciate that. You too, Jen, over at Magic and the Music. And again, I'm going to keep saying it. I love her channel. Check out Magic and the Music. You will not be disappointed. What am I building? This is weird. Yeah, this is a weird combination of pieces. All right, I'm basically making like a chain. All right, that goes there. This goes here. All right, I think I've got that. And then it's the flat ones. Nope, I picked the wrong one. It is the rounded ones. Oh, I did it backwards. That's what I did. Okay, now I get it. I need to put this on here. I need to put this on here. Got it. All right, and then I do this. 60,000. 60,000? Oh my God! $60,000 to run that pump? Oh my goodness! That was way more than I was expecting you to say. Oh my goodness! Wow. All right. That's expensive. That is a cool feature. Okay, so here we go. So my friend Carrie Ann, KJS Weeger says, we have not been to TTBAB since, It's Tough to Be a Bug since 2006. So you're saying, Carrie Ann, that your kids don't do Tough to Be a Bug. Because I think that's about when your kids came in. So here's a cool piece. Now, see this little chain? I'll show it to the other camera too. All right, I made this little chain. This part moves. I'm pretty sure in the next instruction, I'm about to wrap it around I wrap it around the castle and then connect it on the other side. And I just popped it off, of course. Yeah, I'm like, oh, look, check out this cool piece, and then I break it. All right, there we go. So there's that piece is now wrapped around the front of the castle, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, man, Lego designers, they know what they're doing. I mean, that looks so cool. Okay, continuing on. And, all right. Oh, I have to do this. Do I have to do this again? Oh, it's a little different. I do this. I need a little square. Got it. I need the little gold bar thing, which I think is exactly what it actually is supposed to be. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but Lego repurposes shapes all the time. Like, this is probably the piece I just probably created is supposed to be like a gold bar, and they and then they're using it as a connector, but they're actually using it as like filigree on the outside of the building, which is pretty cool. All right, so I do that. Creates this, and this one connects on here. All right. Oh, I just popped something else off. I hate it when I do that. That's what I get for having bear paws. All right, so there we go. That's hooked onto there. The castle's facing this way now. All right. Gotta turn it when it tells you to turn it. Otherwise, you're going to get confused. Not too many, Jen. I don't know. It scared your nephew. Oh, so Carrie Ann, it scared your nephew, and so you never took your own kids. Okay, I understand. Look, I'm telling you, the spiders part. It's the spiders part. When the black widows come down from the ceiling, literally the room just fills with the screams of the wailing of the the room is filled with the wailing of the anguished children. And I do have a good laugh when everyone like jumps when they have the beetles go underneath your butt at the end. But that ride terrifies the heck out of children, and it's pretty bad. By the way, I'm on page number 106. I'm doing good, and I'm a good way through bag 3, and there's only 4 bags. So thanks for sticking with me as we kind of work on this. I need to make one of those windows again. Another window. Happily ever after? No. All right. I'm gonna. I think that I have to be honest with you. I don't think that that's true, Rebecca. And I'll look into it. And you could be right because you are a former cast member. But I will tell you that I have won. Sorry, I'm just laughing at Mark. Stop chatting and driving, Carrie Ann. That's funny. I hope she's not doing that. All right. So I used to do pyro for a company down here in Pennsylvania called Celebration Fireworks, and I would do the fireworks for the city of Chester. And I know that a 20-minute fireworks show without this, because Disney has, and I know this for a fact, Disney has specialty fireworks that have a chip on them that receives a radio signal, which is how they time the explosions so well. First off, they have a pneumatic launch system, so everything is launched through air. They pump it up through the air, and they fire everything in the air. That's why you hear that thump instead of hearing a bang to fire off, because there's not a launch charge. It's called a launch charge. You light the launch charge goes and puts the rocket up in the air. So that's not what happened. The fireworks are most of the fireworks are launched pneumatically. They're not launched with a launch charge. So that's the first thing. And then second of all, there's a chip that's a radio controlled chip that triggers the explosion to time with the music. Now, that does make each charge way more expensive. But a 20-minute show for Chester using decent fireworks, because Celebration Fireworks Company is actually is a moderately priced but very decent fireworks company. City of Chester paid $25,000 for their fireworks show, and Happily Ever After is about 20 minutes long. So let's double the cost of each firework, and it's probably running Disney somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000, and because the charges, they have some specialty charges too, so I'll even add on extra for that. So let's say my guess is between $60,000 to $70,000 a night for their fireworks. Fireworks, while expensive, are not that expensive. I don't think that they're paying. I don't believe that they're doing $500,000. I think that might be. I think that might be just filling some information that's not quite true in there. And I don't think sorry, Rebecca, I'm not like saying you're a liar. I'm just saying I don't think that that's true. I think that I mean, I could be dead wrong, but my guess would be, after my experience being a pyrotechnics guy for a while, I gave it up because Michelle didn't want me to get blown up. Let's just be honest. And I would say that it probably cost them between $60,000 and $70,000 a night. I don't think that they would do it if it cost them $500,000. I don't think they'd be able to make. I don't think they'd be able to do it every night. So I think that's the. I think that that would be like a once in a lifetime thing that they would do. Now, mind you, there's 2 or 3 parks doing that at the same time, so they're spending quite a bit of money in that. But yeah, I'd say $60,000 to $70,000 a night, for especially for those specialty fireworks that they were using. I'm building the front facade of the castle now, which is fun. And some of these pieces are exactly the same pieces I use on the big castle upstairs. Oh, there's a piece I have to put in. Doo-doo-doo. Yes, the weather dome around Disney. Yes, I've heard people talk about that they have a weather dome around Disney, which is why they never get hit by hurricanes until they got hit by hurricanes. Yeah, I've heard about. Yeah, it's probably true. Eve and Jenny want to know what your favorite ride is overall. All right. Eve and Jenny, thank you for asking that question. My favorite ride overall is definitely Rise of the Resistance. I said that earlier, and I'll say it again. Rise of the Resistance. Good guesstimate. Oh yes, my sister just backed me up. Sorry, Mark. I'll get back to your question. My sister says that Interweb says $55,000 in 2017. So. That's based on my knowledge from being a pyro guy. So, and that was a lot of fun. But like I said, Michelle didn't want me blowing myself up, so she asked me to stop doing it. So I did. And I'll tell you why she felt that way. At the very last show that I ever did, before she asked me to never do it again, we were launching fireworks off in this field, and we were at our safe place. We were at the place we were supposed to be, the safety zone. We were in the safe zone, and all of a sudden, I heard, "Fudum, fudum, 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 fudum," and then I got hit full on in the chest by a 3-inch mortar. And a 3-inch mortar is no joke. The actual round was, it's about this big, and it hit me full on in the chest. Thankfully, it was a misfire, and it wasn't lit to go. It basically came out of the launch. It blew one of the launch tubes open. The launch charge blew the launch tube open, and it ripped the actual the actual firework charge off the top of the actual firework, and it hit me in the chest. And it literally, and everyone, and you should have seen every pyro guy in that tent leapt out of the tent like we were all gonna die, because there was a chance we could. But I got hit full on in the chest by an unexploded ordnance. And when I told Michelle about it that night, she literally just looks at me and she goes, please never do that again. I was like, okay. So I never did it again. I have to admit, I made good money doing it, but I've never done it again at the request of my wife, because I think me telling her that story terrified the heck out of her, and I don't blame her for that upsetting her whatsoever. But anyway, back to Mark's question. My favorite ride, and I said this before in the stream, but that's okay. I don't mind saying it again, is Rise of the Resistance. And Rise of the Resistance is, in my opinion, a technological marvel. And the fact that you are in the queue for so long, I mean, the second you enter the Rebel base and you see that hologram of Rey and the BB-8, and then you move into the next base, and you're still in line, mind you, and you see Poe's X-Wing with BB-8 loaded into it, and that transport ship, and then you get into the transport ship, and you see Lieutenant Beck and Nine Yub in the front. And Nine Yub, if you don't know who he is, he's that like creature that flies the Millennium Falcon with Lando Calrissian in Return of the Jedi. And Nine Yub is in the front piloting it, and Lieutenant Beck's in charge. And then you get out of it, and you're still in the queue, you're still in line, and you go through the Stormtrooper room, and then you're still in the queue, and you go into the interrogation room, and then you're finally on the ride, and the ride's that trackless ride vehicle. I have never been more immersed in a ride in my entire life. It is so absolutely freaking incredible from the moment you step into that ride. And yes, my love for Star Wars, because as I tell people all the time, the very first movie I actually remember going into the theater to see was Return of the Jedi as a 4-year-old. So there you go. If you want to do the math, it was in the theaters, and I saw it as a 4-year-old with my parents. Jabba the Hutt scared the living bejeebus out of me, and but I still remember the fact that is the very first movie that I actually remember going to see, and I went to go see it in the Emmaus Theater, which is really funny because that theater is like it's a quaint little theater, but the funny part about that theater is that it literally has train tracks where the train blows its horn that goes right along past it, and that's a lot of fun. You had kids ask if the rain was real, and the adults thought the animals on the safaris were fake. I mean, I can understand if you're riding the Jungle Cruise, because those definitely look fake. How could you possibly think the animals on the safari were fake? Wow, there's some people out there. That's all I'll say. There's some people out there. That's wow. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm wow. But yeah. So Mark, to answer your kid's question, my favorite ride is without a doubt Rise of the Resistance. Second place is Flight of Passage, and third place is Expedition Everest. I love Expedition Everest. I actually haven't talked about that in this vlog yet. Expedition Everest is not a vlog; it's a live stream. Expedition Everest is just an incredible roller coaster. The part where you go backwards, makes me involuntarily scream every time. Like in my video, I have a great front row POV ride video that you guys should check out on this channel if you haven't seen it. And in that front row POV, the ride starts going backwards, you actually hear me go as I'm trying to be quiet on the ride because I'm making a ride video, and I couldn't. I involuntarily make sound on that back part. I love that ride. I always ride front row in that one. One of the things I always tell you is that be nice to the cast members, right, Rebecca? Be nice to the cast members. There's no reason to be mean to the cast members. And if you're nice to the cast members, you can often convince them to let you ride in the front row or wait for the back row or all kinds of other things. If you're nice to the cast members, good things come to you, and that's an absolute fact. But I always ask them if I can ride in the front row on Everest, and they always let me. Even actually back in 2020, they weren't supposed to be letting people do that, and I was like, hey, look, I know you're not supposed to let me wait for the front row, but if I could, that'd be great. And he goes, hey, do I have a party of 2? And he like kind of ignored me, but he was not ignoring me. And this group's like, oh yeah, party of 2. And he's like, he put them in the last row because I was going to be in the last row, and he then let me go on the front row, even though at that time they weren't really supposed to. In September 2020, they were supposed to just kind of load the vehicles and do that. They're also doing all that extra cleaning stuff at the time. And it was very kind of him to do that. But all you have to do is be nice to the cast members, and they'll do nice things for you. That's one of the things I always talk about is be nice. And the great thing is, and actually, if Jen, I don't know if Jen is still in the, I don't know if Jen is still in the stream. Not my sister Jen, but Magic in the Music. But she was talking about how she used that new cast compliment thing that they offered. So I'm curious. I'm curious how that went for her, because she was talking about how she used it. I'd like to know how that went for her. Yeah. This is really coming together. I'm almost done with this segment. So once I'm done with this segment, I'll give you a close up of the progress. But let's see. Next door what? My sister Jen, next door what? I don't understand what you mean. You just yelled next door. They thought the Crocs didn't move enough to be real, and it's because Crocs never move, and people just forget to pack their brains when they go to Disney. That's also true. I've actually been one of those people who've forgotten to pack my brain when I went to Disney. That was all from Rebecca. Rebecca, we are just doing our jobs. We don't make the policies, right? And there's no reason to treat cast members poorly. Yeah, so my friend Magic in the Music, also known as Jen, I'll refer to her as Jen. There's 2 Jens in the chat, but Magic in the Music, again, check out her channel, please. She said that she found it really convenient, because I remember her talking about it in one of her vlogs. Oh, the train next door, yeah, okay, yeah, the next door train, because, yeah, you would have gone with me to that thing. But yeah, I've heard that the cast compliment thing that's in the My Disney Experience app, which is a new piece, is pretty awesome and convenient and easy to use. Oh, I'm almost done with this segment. I have just a couple of small pieces to put on. All right, now it says to turn this around. Always put it on the way that it looks like in the picture. All right, so I need this blue one. I need to make 2 of these. All right, so I got this. Put this. Yeah, that train at that movie theater, Emmaus Theater. My sister and I grew up in a town called Emmaus. It's a little sleepy little town. It actually made like the top 100 places in America to live at one point in time. And for a number of years, it was on that list for a number of years. It is a beautiful little town, and they have this. It's called a second run theater, which means that it runs movies at the end of their run time, and you can go for really cheap. They had like a $3 matinee even up until like last year. They were running a $3 matinee, and oh, these are really cute. I like these little spires. But there was literally a train. There's train tracks, and they're still there, and that still goes by. That would go by in the middle of the theater. You hear like, as the train would go by in the middle of the freaking movie. Whatever. It was surround sound. Yeah, surround sound. That's what it was. Okay, what do I got? Oh, I am done. I have all my little fiddly bits. Oh, they always give you extra fiddly bits. Because it's easy to lose the fiddly bits. And that's why I always, when I'm done with them, I always put them into my little Tupperware container. Because you never know when you're going to need your fiddly bits again. I'm on the final bag. Oh, hey, thanks for sticking with me. We're at the 2-hour mark. I have been told by YouTube, by YouTube experts that if your live stream goes with viewers to the 2-hour mark, that they'll start pushing, the algorithm will start pushing it out to more people, being like, hey, this live stream's been going on for a while. Maybe you should check it out. And so thank you, because I have viewers and I've had people interacting in the chat, and that'll probably help me quite a bit. Just so you know, one of the things that I'm really excited about right now is that my channel, which I've had for quite some time and try to put out videos at least every week, twice a week if I can. My channel, oh my goodness, there's a lot of little tiny things. My channel is very close to being monetized, and I am very excited about that. I have only, for those of you who don't know how YouTube works, in order to be monetized, you have to have a certain amount of watch time in a year. It's actually, the number is 4,000 hours. You have to have 4,000 hours in a year, and I am about 120 or so hours away. I actually just put out a video on how to get in the virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy, which is doing very well right now. And I haven't checked it. I can probably check it real quick, the stats on that. I've been trying to stay away from my phone because I have an addiction to my own phone. But let me see, because I know Jen likes this stuff. It's been up since Wednesday. So it's only been up for a little bit over 48 hours, and it's at 422 views. Has a 9.6% click-through rate, which means that people see the thumbnail and click on it. That's down a little bit from what it was earlier. It was like 10.5 before. But they're watching over half of it, that's a big deal. They're watching over 50% of it. But yeah, it's got 422 views, and I've gained 11 subscribers because of that video. I have not had a video get me that many subscribers that quick before, so I apparently made a good one. But yeah, you should check out that video if you ever get a chance. If you want, I have my tips for getting onto the virtual queues. My tips for getting on the virtual queues have always done well. My Rise of the Resistance one had 18.8 thousand views, and the Remy's Ratatouille they didn't run that. They didn't use the virtual queue with that one as long as they did with the Rise of the Resistance. But the Remy's Ratatouille Adventure one ended up having 3.4 thousand views before they stopped using the virtual queue for that one. So That that's a pretty so I'm that my virtual queue videos do really well, but I'm really close to monetizing. And one of the things that they recommend that is recommended in the like YouTube, hey, how to be a good successful YouTuber literature, is that if you are close to monetizing, you should run a live stream. And I have to be honest, I was concerned that no one was going to show up. Oh, that's cool. These little pieces right here are going to become the portcullis. I thought they were going to go on this way, and they're actually going to go on this way, and they're going to become the portcullis of the castle. I'll show you where they go in a second. But I'm really close to monetizing, and YouTube was like, "Hey, if you're really close to monetizing, you see they're in there. See them in there? They're in there. Hopefully, you can see that. There we go. You can see them in there. Yeah, they become the portcullis inside the castle. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm really close to monetizing, and YouTube said, hey, you should. One of the things you should do is run a live stream, and they said if you can make it to 2 hours with viewers, which I have, you can do that. Rise, all right, so Carrie Ann says, Rise definitely wins in terms of immersive experience, but oh man, Cosmic Rewind is unbelievable. I cannot wait to ride that ride. So I can't say it's a favorite until I've been on it, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I love those characters in those movies. They're fantastic. Okay, 2 more questions from your girls. Let me see. All right, so your girls asked, and you said their names before. I'm terrible with names. Eva and Jenny. Okay, so Eva and Jenny say, what's your favorite Disney park? And how do they have lions on the Animal Kingdom Safari if they are dangerous? Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to answer the second one first. So they have lions there. So one of the things that Disney is very good at, one of the things that they are very good at is hiding the fences and the gates, to protect people. Because remember, the number one key to Disney is safety. And so they're going to do everything they can. They're going to do everything they can to try to keep the people on the ride safe from the lions. So the lions are actually, so they do a couple things with the lions. First off, there's actually a moat that you can't see. That's one thing. They have a moat that you can't see. They cover it up with a bunch of bushes and the way that they do it. So there's actually like a moat. And they also have an electric fence. And then on top of that, the lions are like kind of coaxed into being on the Pride Rock that they made there, because the rocks are heated or cooled depending on the time of year, and it kind of coaxes the lions in there. So that's how they keep the people safe. So they hide the fences. There's an electric fence. There's a moat. And they also try to keep the lions wanting to stay on the rocks, because the rocks actually have a heating and cooling system, which is why you often find them lying on the rocks up there. Now, for the second question, what's my favorite Disney park? Hands down, it's Epcot. I don't even have to think about that answer. Hands down, my answer is Epcot. And Epcot is just, I mean, I know it's kind of getting away from it at this point, and that's okay, because I think they're doing a good job with it. But Epcot was the very first park that I ever went to as a kid. When I was 7 years old, and I went with my family for the very first time to Disney World, we actually went to Epcot first. And so the very first park I ever went to was Epcot. The very first ride I ever went on was Spaceship Earth. And so nostalgia feeds my answer as well. But so part of my answer is from nostalgia. That's one thing. But the other thing is I love the concept there in Epcot of the edutainment. Like I said before, I do miss Body Wars. I miss Cranium Command that used to be in the Wonders of Life Pavilion. I'm looking forward to the Play Pavilion that's going to be in there. That's going to be a lot of fun. Even though it's more about interacting with, like, playing with stuff, that reminds me of old school Epcot, and that is, and in my book, that's pretty awesome. And so the old school Epcot. Oh, I haven't done a progress update in a while, so here's a build camera real quick. So here's the piece so far. It's looking pretty good. All right. Hopefully you guys can all see that clearly. I'll try to hold it up a little closer. All right. Bring the white balance down a little bit. All right. There we go. And yeah, so that's what it looks like from the front. Here's the back. I like the Cinderella's Royal Table. Uh, they gave Cinderella's Royal Table a little plus up there. But yeah, Epcot is my absolute favorite park because of the edutainment aspect of it. And I love the World Showcase Pavilion. One of my favorite things to do at night with my wife is to slowly walk around the World Showcase. Very romantic, really, really awesome. Actually, another student, I randomly ran into a former student of mine and her now fiance. They were just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. This is about 3 years ago. Literally, I get like attacked from the back and hugged, and it ended up like I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I realized it was one of my former students, and she was there just on a trip, and she had seen me, and so we actually got to share that experience with them, and that was absolutely an incredible way to share an experience, because I got to share it with like the next generation of people who are like a couple, and that was really, really awesome. And I love walking around the World Showcase tonight with my wife. It's very romantic. I love I love learning in the World Showcase pavilions. I go into all of the displays and the museums and all that other stuff. I absolutely adore Epcot. It is hands down my absolute favorite. And so it's Epcot. 5 and 7. Wow, they're getting old. I remember when they were born. So now, yeah, that makes me feel old. If you enjoyed the live stream, hit the like button. Oh, is that what I'm supposed to say now, Kyle? All right, if you enjoyed the live stream, please hit the like button. The like button is your friend, and when you push the like button, it tells the algorithm that we are pretty awesome. And so, yeah. Also, the lines are very well fed. Oh, yeah, they only have a 30% sex rate. And since they, I do know that about the lions. Here we go. Wild dogs, which they do have on the thing. Oh, little tip. See, I know Rebecca knows this, but the wild dogs have an 80%, have a 90%, or no, it's an 80% hunting success rate. Wild dogs have an 80% hunting success rate, and they trade off the wild dogs at night with hyenas who are scavengers. So I think that's kind of a fascinating thing that they do. That they have the really well done African painted dogs, the good hunters, African painted dogs, and they replace them with scavengers, which I think is a fascinating little thing that they do. But yes. It's like the bugs going underneath your seat. Yeah. Let's see what else. Yes, liking a live stream. Liking a live stream can also help. Yes, I forget to say that. That for some reason it's just one of those things I never remember to say. I say it at the end of my videos, but while I'm doing this live stream, I'm like, hey, I'm just having fun having a conversation with everybody. All right, where is this piece? I know it's here. I saw it. All right, here we go. I'm making the clock tower right now. And that's funny. So these pieces right here, these pieces have been the one that I'm showing on the build camera. That piece right there has been a part of the Lego family since I was a little boy, because I remember putting those onto things when I was a little boy. All right. Clock tower made and now added to the front of the piece. Clock tower. Pretty cool. Hold it for that camera too. All right. And this goes right here. Oh, look at that. That looks cool. There you go. I'll show that part to you. There's the clock tower added onto the thing. This is actually coming together really nicely. All right. Oh, that's funny. I just realized. All right, so they definitely gave you crowbars. Like these are actually like these. Like, remember I told you that you reuse pieces all the time. These are crowbars, like for tools. Like they're crowbars, little crowbar pieces, and those are fun. And I'll put them up. All right, there's one. Here's two. Bet you anything I flick them down. Nope. There's another set of them. These go in the lower part. 1. And 2. Adding a little bit of fun. Okay. Keep at it, Ballard. All right. Gray piece. Gold piece. Round looking weird piece. I'll do this 5 times, okay? All right, do that. Do these. I like to do. If the instructions change pages and they tell it to do more than once, I always try to build it, all the part that's on that page before I flip the page. Because it's just a pain to have to go keep flipping back. All right. I'm on instruction 140, by the way, which is pretty darn decent if you ask me. How's everybody doing out there? How's your anyone have anyone all right, so here's this. I will go through my list of favorites of certain things. So one of my favorites is my favorite talk about my favorite hotel. I know this is weird. Michelle and I actually had a discussion about this. I have learned how much I absolutely love the Boardwalk Hotel. I think the Boardwalk Hotel is great. I love the fact that you can walk from the boardwalk easily to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. That is such a cool little ability to be able to do that. That it's just I love that. I love the hotel's theming. I like the nightlife at night, especially since Michelle and I do not have any children. So being able to participate in that nightlife at night is awesome, and being so close to Yacht and Beach Club, because you're allowed, as DVC members, we're allowed to pool hop, so we can actually go to Stormalong Bay if we wanted to. That's a nice little feature that we get as as DVC members. We get that pool hop feature, and we also I love Boardwalk, but I will tell you that I love Polynesian, which is Michelle's favorite. Michelle absolutely adores Polynesian Hotel, and we're very excited to be able to stay at both of our favorites this year. We're doing like I said earlier in the stream, we're doing a split stay. But I will tell you, strangely, I still have a little bit of a love. I have a little bit of a love for Port Orleans French Quarter. Port Orleans French Quarter is, in my opinion, just an absolute gem of a moderate resort. It is great value for your money, and it's in a beautiful setting. It's smaller, so it's quiet. It only has one bus stop, which is a big deal because they rarely, a lot of the hotels now have more than one bus stop. And we will actually, if we're staying at Port Orleans Riverside, we will actually walk to Port Orleans French Quarter just so we can get the easier time getting on the bus. And we would do it at night too. We would get on the French Quarter bus instead of the Port Orleans Riverside bus, because Port Orleans Riverside has way more people in it. And because we stayed in the Princess Royal rooms at Riverside before, and those are a lot of fun. Oh wow, I gotta make 5 of these. Oh my god. So a little fun fact is that I actually still have a special place in my heart for Port Orleans French Quarter. It's definitely one of the favorites. What? Oh, you want to stay in either Boardwalk or Yacht Club for race weekend? Yeah. By the way, Carrie, everyone in the chat, do me a favor, throw up a big old yay for Carrie Ann and Mark. They actually did they did the race weekend. They both did really, really well, and both Carrie Ann and Mark deserve kudos for being awesome in those races. So good job, Carrie Ann and Mark. Very proud of you. I'm sure you're also proud of you, but I want you to know that I think you deserve kudos for your excellent work with the race weekend. All right, I've gotten to that point putting Lego together right now where my fingers hurt because I'm doing all the little tiny pieces again. That's one of the problems with doing this. Eventually, your fingers start bothering you. But I'm almost done. I'm almost finished. I'm gonna do it. I swear. And yeah, so but yeah, that being able to do that race weekend is something that I'd actually like to do sometime. Because running is what I do for fitness, and I would love to participate in a race weekend. But unfortunately, they're always at a weird time of year for me, and I never can go. One time, I'll do it eventually. I know I'm going to do it eventually. I do believe in my soul that I will get to do it eventually, but probably not until I'm a little older and my life calms down a little bit. But big shout out for Mark and Carrie Ann. They deserve a yay in the chat. Woohoo! Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Big old shout out for you guys. You deserve it. You deserve it. Carrie Ann and Mark. By Carrie Ann and Mark are some of my are amongst some of my oldest friends. They marched, like I said, they marched Crosswind Drum and Bugle Corps with me. That's where I marched I was in my late teens and very, very early 20s. I marched Crosswind Drum and Bugle Corps, and I met Mark and Carrie Ann in 2000 and was very blessed to become good friends with them, and I'm very glad that we've stayed in contact with each other, and they're great people. My friend Steph and her husband Mike I also marched with, and that's that couple I mentioned before. And some of my and all of them live in Florida, which makes it awesome. So when Michelle and I go to Florida, I get to see some of my longtime friends, and very much adore them and their families, and it's just great that I'm able to keep those connections from my drum corps days. But yeah. You do actually live too close to justify staying on property for the races, but splurge once. Maybe I'm sure you could find DVC people who would be willing to rent you points for like cheap as anything, to be able to stay there. Hint, hint. I'd be more than willing to help you out with that. We can try to make that work for you sometime. Especially since Boardwalk is a DVC resort. So yeah, Michelle and I are doing all of our stay this year is in Deluxe Studios. And for those who don't know, Deluxe Studios have a kitchenette, and a pull down Murphy bed, and they don't have like all the features that the like one bedrooms have the plus up is they have a full kitchen, and a washer and dryer. So I don't get the washer and dryer at the Deluxe Studios, and I'm okay with that. Michelle and I can pack enough clothes so we don't need to visit the laundry. And but it would be nice to have. It would be nice to take home. I have to be honest. Thinking about it, it would be nice to take home clean clothes instead of dirty clothes. Just to throw them in the wash on the last night. Jen, you stayed in one bedroom. So have you used the? If you're still there, my friend Jen from Magic and the Music, have you stayed and used the washing machines in the studio in the one bedrooms? I would love to know if you've done that, because I've never actually stayed in one of those rooms. I would love to know if you've ever used the washing machines. You're a Randall. Finally, I finished the last one of these little fiddly bit pieces. I call these fiddly bit pieces. That's kind of my name for them. I've always called them that. They're turret pieces. They're like little spinny turrets. Let me see. What do I got going on? What's next? Oh, what is that? Oh, okay. Where's that go? All right. Oh, come on. Ugh. Go on. Oftentimes, by the way, with these little fiddly bit segments, when you're putting these together, they will also tell you exactly which way they should sit so they look right in the way the designer wanted them to do. So make sure you're looking at that. In this one, there's these little openings in these pieces, these little natural openings in these pieces, and they have them set to be on the corner. I doubt you're going to be able to see it, but I'll put my finger above it. There's a little opening in that piece, and you can and that little opening, they have it set to be on the corners in the picture. So I usually try to make it look exactly like the picture when I put them together. But this is actually looking really cool. I'm really glad that I decided to do this because it gave me something to do while I talked to everybody about my favorite parts of Disney. And I appreciate all the questions. Yeah, they're awesome. Oh, so you have stayed in them, Rebecca. Oh, that's right, because I forgot your parents are DVC owners. So you stayed in the one bedroom and saves so much room in the suitcases, needs the washer and the dryer. Yeah, it probably does, and you can put more loot in the suitcases. So yeah, all right, cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate that little insight. Thank you, Rebecca. I forgot that your parents they own at Bay Lake, right? I think you said that, if I remember correctly, they own at Bay Lake. Do they own somewhere else, Rebecca? I'm not sure. I think they do. But I know for sure they own at Bay Lake because your dad told me all about it and how much he loves Bay Lake. No, but the castle upstairs does come with a Tinkerbell. Yeah, Mark. The Mark asked if does it have a Lego Tinkerbell zipline coming out the top. No, no, it doesn't. But the castle upstairs, the big castle, actually comes with a Tinkerbell. So, wow, this is really cool. I like this little. You put the gold disc, then you put the blue disc, and it gives it the space like a really iridescent look. That is such a cool design. I love that. The big castle does come with a Tinkerbell. The big castle also comes with, and I don't fire them because I don't want to lose them. The big castle also comes with it also comes with a firework launcher. Like you literally have little pieces that you can launch from the front of the tower, and you push the little switches in the backs, and you push the little switch in the back, and it will literally fire. Fireworks out into the room. Now it's just basically taking like one of these little color pieces, like one of these little color pieces like this, and it literally launches them. But you can, I'll lose that in a second, so I'm not about to. And my cats will probably chase it. Michelle was very kind, by the way, and kept the cats from coming down into the room because my cat Piglet would be down here like howling, meow, 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 like as many times as she possibly could because she loves attention and she loves it from me for some reason. I love that cat, but she's very needy, and I was very glad to have a little bit of a moment without that cat insisting on being in my lap, which is what her MO is. I'm running out of pieces, so I'm thinking I'm getting close to the end here. Well, technically it's actually just getting easier for me to find the pieces, which means I'm running low on pieces. Glad I solved with that issue well before where I realized that I thought I had lost something. That would or I didn't get a piece. That would have been like I need to, as Jen put it, I do need to call the Lego police. Saratoga and Grand Californian. Oh, they also yeah. That's where Saratoga is. Where Saratoga Springs is where Michelle and I own. We own points at Saratoga Springs, and that's it. But we have a lot. We did get a good number of points there, so we were able to do that. And so we own it. We own it at Saratoga, and so they own it Grand Californian too. My friend Jen, Magic and the Music, Jen, she just stayed at the Grand Californian. She said she loved it. She liked being so close to the. She said she liked being so close to the parks, and I can understand exactly what that sentiment, because you walk out the back door of the hotel, the Grand Californian, and you're in Disney's California Adventure. That's pretty awesome. By the way, I'll stick one of the turrets out on the thing, and I'll bring in the build camera so you can see it. But that's what the turrets look like. Finished now that I've built them all. Like I said, a lot of fiddly bits in that. All right, where do these go? These go on the thingies on the outside. So there's one. Here's two. All right, here's three. There's 4. And here's 5. All right. There we go. That's where we're at. Looking pretty awesome. Oh, view of the world of color from your room? Yeah, and considering how close it is, that must have been really close to being able to see it. How high? Do you remember how high up you were at the Grand Californian when you did that? Just curious. Uh-huh. Your aunt. Your aunt is the one that owns that BLT? Oh, your dad made it sound like, I have to be honest, your dad made it sound like they owned a BLT at Bay Lake Tower. But, but it's okay. He did say that he was saying that he did, that's like one of his favorites though. So maybe I just misunderstood him because he was talking about it being his favorite. But the I have to say though that for me the Grand Californian is beautiful. I do want to stay there one day. But Michelle and I actually are planning on using our points because the last state, mostly thanks to Drum Corps, but the last state that I have yet to sleep in, and that's my rule, in order for it to count that I've been to that state, I have to sleep there. The only state I have left in that quest is Hawaii. The only U.S. state that I need to sleep in is Hawaii. Mostly thanks to Drum Corps, but Hawaii. Hawaii is where do they have that? They have something like that. Okay. Hawaii is on my list, and the nice thing is we own DVC points, and we can use our DVC points to stay at Aulani in Hawaii. So I am very much hoping to be able to do that sometime in the very near future because I want to get that state off of my bucket list. And staying at a Disney resort while doing it, I am 100% behind this. And I put a piece on that I need to now pull off, and I need to use my tool. See, this is why I have the tool here. Because, I don't know, flinging parts. Because I put a piece on that I didn't need to put on. But yeah, I want to stay at Aulani, and because I have DVC points, I can do that. And I definitely want to do that at some point in time. All right. Getting to the top. We're at the top of the tower. All right. This. We have this. Okay, why did I make this? Hold on. I made something that I don't know where it goes. Oh! Okay, now I got it. I made these two things. I thought they were going together, and I missed that they were put onto the piece. All right. My castle. Let me turn it that way. And la la la. The final tower. I think that might be. Yep. Complete. Bum ba ba dum ba ba bum. All right. Look at that. I have completed the Disney mini castle for Lego. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. All right. There we go. There's the front. Oh, you got to see. Oh, well, hold on. We love Grand Cali. Rebecca says we had a view of World of Color, pretty high up, she was saying. And it was a 60th, so we saw the show with Neil Patrick Harris. Nice. A World of Color. Now, one thing I can say that I have, one of my claims to fame in life is that about, I think it was 10 years ago now, I think it was 2012, they hired Eric Whitaker to write a virtual choir piece for the holiday World of Color. And they hired Eric Whitaker to do the virtual World of Color, and let me get all my fiddly bits. I have lots of fiddly bits left here. Unless I missed something. Oh, wait, I did miss something. Ooh, I did. Oh, hold on, it's not finished. It's not finished. I didn't finish it. I missed one little thing. Hold on, hold on. Can't have a crisis. Must add the little side turret. Hold on, here it comes. Here it comes. Ooh, ooh. I was like, there's a lot of fiddly bits left, and I realized that there's something missing. And the little there you go, Mark. There's Tinkerbell's exit space. Oh, darn it. A piece just fell off into the castle. Hold on. Good thing that part swings. Where does this go? This goes underneath. This piece does not want to go. Yeah, I had some pages stick together. I just realized it now. Oh my goodness. Breaking stuff. Come on. But yeah, I was in 2012. And I think Rebecca might have been in my class when that happened. But yeah, I was in the Eric Whitacre virtual choir that was played at Disneyland for a long freaking time. But Mark, there's your exit for Tinkerbell. We don't get the I'll put the big thing on because now that I actually done it. Build camera, there we go. And we don't get the actual zip line, but we get her exit point. There's her exit point. There's a little spot. But yeah, I was in Glow. Yeah, I was in Glow. Yep. Oh, you performed Glow in concert. Awesome. Yeah, I did. I was actually one of the people who did the thing. So here we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. There's your castle. Let me put Mickey in front of it, just like the picture. Ta-da! There you go. And I'll turn it up so everyone can look at it. And here's Mickey. But yes, I definitely. It wasn't Sleep. Sleep was the one that I wanted to do. I did the actual virtual choir that the virtual choir that I did that year was oh man, I can't think of it. Yeah, it was Virtual Choir 4. So whichever one Virtual Choir 4 was, I don't remember what the song was, but it wasn't Sleep. Sleep was the one that I wish I had done. Oh, was it Sleep? I actually think you're right. It was Sleep that I did. But man, it's been so long now that I can't remember. I'm getting old. Well. All right, folks. It has been an absolute pleasure sharing this time with you. Thank you for hanging with me for these past couple hours. And while I build the Disney Lego Castle and answer your questions, and we have a nice little conversation in the chat. Very nice to have such wonderful people participating with us. I think the one I wanted to do, Rebecca, now that you're saying, I think the one I wanted to do was Lux Aeterna, and that's the one I didn't do. But I did the water. I did the water one. It's the water one. The water one. It's the whatever one. It's the oh, I can't remember. But no, it's not Flight of Paradise. That's a relative. That Flight of Paradise is a relatively new one. But anyway, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll put it in the description down below. But yeah, I participated in Eric Whitacre's Virtual Choir number 4, and then I auditioned and made it into the one for Glow that was on World of Color, and so I can honestly say I've been a Disney cast member and participated in a Disney performance that got played for thousands of people. So that's a pretty cool moment. But thank you very much for joining us on this live stream. If you're watching this live stream on the replay, make sure you hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button. All those things really help out this channel. Thanks for being awesome and hanging with me. I don't want to take any more of your time. And because Michelle and I like to say, we don't like to say goodbye because we're going to see you real soon. So, from our Lego Disney Castle to you, we're going to say, see you bye. It's been a pleasure. Yes, Water Knight. You're right. Thank you.